Hello everybody, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. Today we are going to take a look at the Joined Forces category, and we're going to do something a little bit different. So I hope you guys enjoy. Hit that subscribe if you are new for more content at any point. Hear me, at any point, feel free to join in on the discussion in today's video and just chime in what you would like to see happen. So you guys probably, of course, already read the title or the description or whatever else, so you know what we're talking about. So today I'm going to give you guys some ideas for stuff that I would like to see come into the game as part of the Joined Forces category. So currently we have two Joined Forces category leaders. We have the LR, Kale, and Caulifla. We also do have LR, Yamcha, and Puar. So obviously Yamcha and Puar, they were going to at some point get crept as the leader, right? I think that's fair to say. 4 key 130, and at some point maybe we got a better leader than this as far as the statistical gain goes. So we'll see what happens. But when it comes down to Joined Forces category, like this category, like easily has like the potential to be absurdly good. It already is, but like it really, really could be. I don't want to say. I don't know. I think we need to see them under like 170 or whatever. It could easily be, I guess. I don't know. I'm not one for the hot takes, man. The best category in the game. Dun dun dun. So yeah, it could be that. So long story short, though, this category has some amazing options. In all seriousness, I mean, Kale and Caulifla, LR Go Bros, LR Go Frieza, the trio of Vegito, Gogeta, all that stuff, the free-to-play cards. It's just a good category overall. Has a ton of LRs, by the way. On a side note, before we even get into this, I love this category for one reason and one reason only. I called this team duos, and I did a video on it. And a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks later, maybe a little bit longer, they introduced this category. And I was like, wow, way to steal my idea, Bandai. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So we have those guys. The first one is I want to see whether it's SSBE or UI like the image here, whether it's this specifically. I would like to see a Goku and not Frieza, excuse me, a Goku and Vegeta a la Tournament of Power LR type card. You know, they fight together on a lot of scenarios, of course, so there are a lot of opportunities to produce a Goku and Vegeta LR from different chunks of the series, but I really want it to be from the Tournament of Power because we have access to, again, these types of forms, and I really do like this type of concept, this type of style for the LR. And also, you know, we do have already, you know, this one probably wouldn't come anytime soon, for the matter, because like the Tournament of Power category is like they've got a lot of Joined Forces cards apparently, so probably not anytime soon. But I will say, you know, it would have the potential to link pretty well with the Tournament of Power cards because having the 3-key link and, you know, maybe shocking speed, probably not. I'd say that if I were to give this card links, it would have legendary power, of course. Super Saiyan, it's a weird one. I'd say actually it wouldn't have Super Saiyan. Here's why. Because Goku, Black, and Zamasu don't have Super Saiyan. Even though that's Rose, they don't have Super Saiyan because one of them has it, you know, and the other one doesn't. So I don't know. It could get it, but it's like a weird link because Goku's not in Super Saiyan. But regardless, that's a wild card. Probably not happening. Anyways, I'd give them that. I'd say if Saiyan Warrior Race was a better link, I'd give them that. I think there's a good chance they probably get that, to be honest. Tournament of Power, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. They need some attack links, so I guess we do give them Saiyan Warrior Race, which is a trash link, but conceptually it would fit well. The name of the link and all that stuff fits well. Prodigies as well, maybe something like that, just to give them some attack links and function a little better. So I would like to see this. Let me know how you guys feel about that one. So next one here, next one we have here is the father-son Galick Gun. If we can get a father-son Kamehameha LR, which is right here, then we can definitely get the father-son Galick Gun. Now, what's cool about... Oh, hey, wrong one. We'll come back to that. What's cool about this one, though, is, you know, I feel like when we look at... let's get back over here. When we look at Future Saga in particular, which I should be able to access here, we can... or Time Travelers by extension. They're largely the same category. But when we look at this, right, we do have access to the actual, like, cards, and they recently EZA'd, and they're such good EZA cards that, like, when it comes down to that, you have these cards, you have the Trunks leader as well if you want to run that. You also do have the LR. You could just field a full Trunks and Vegeta type team out of that category, and just, who wouldn't want to make that, right? And I do think, probably somebody in the comments, oh, me. you're probably the one that leaves the dislike whenever there's no dislike, just so you can be the first one to dislike the video. Anyways, yeah, in all seriousness, though, I want to see something like this. And I think the art potential for a card centered around this scene or this area could be really good. And I'm just excited for that type of card as a possibility. I'd say, though, if I were to gauge which one had the likelihood of happening more than the other, I'd say this one is less likely than this one. I think this one is actually quite likely. Now, by the way, for the record, there is still that legendary election thing that they've been basically crossing off the list. Like, they've gone through, oh, LR Metacooler Army, or okay, that's a thing. LR this, LR that, LR SS4 Goku, whatever, LR Vegito Blue, whatever. Those are things that they are apparently interested in bringing to the game, and they have been for a while. So this is completely disregarding that. It is just me and joint forces and LRs potentially. By the way, every card I'm talking about here is an LR. So yeah, in my opinion, I want them to be an LR. Even though they'd be hard to pull, that's not relevant to this. But regardless, make it happen. Oh, before we proceed, links are very easy for this card, I'd say. You give them Super Saiyan, you give them Prepare for Battle, you give them probably Dismal Future. In fact, we can just literally copy these links for the most part. See, Saiyan Warrior Race, it conceptually makes it onto like these things, right? You give them Royal Lineage, yeah, Royal Lineage, Prodigies, maybe, Prepare for Battle, either Shattering the Limit or Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, Saiyan Warrior Race. Like, it's really easy to build their link setup. So here we go, Krillin and Gohan. Now, this one is fun. I tweeted this one out last week, and some people were like throwing out the idea of maybe an Earthling category. Now, you could do that, right? Because Gohan is an Earthling. He's just as much Earthling as he is Saiyan, right? You could do that, but I don't think that would happen just because they could. If they really want to flesh out the category and add more options, they would do that, right? Then you'd have access to every single hybrid because they're all Saiyan Earthling hybrids, right? I guess maybe that would be the smart way to go, to be honest, because, like, let's just be honest, the Super Warrior type guys, Legends term there, the Z Fighters type guys, there's not enough of those guys, Krillin and Tien and stuff like that to really form a viable team, unless they were to make this some sort of free-to-play LR. But the reason why I love this, for one, is because it's Krillin, but also because this was one of the scenes from original Dragon Ball Z that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed these two fighting together for this sequence, and I just like to see more options for this type of card. Now, this one, I don't know. I feel like if it's a Krillin card, he'd be well off with experienced fighters because he is that, but like it's Gohan who's not so experienced. That's the only issue ever with Joint Forces cards. Like when you try to build up links or even categories, right? Like, for example, categories are probably more inhibiting than links because you have a card like this who didn't make it into like other teams because like pure Saiyans. Well, Bulma's in the name. She's not a pure Saiyan. So like stuff like that. But to be fair, I've already said my piece on why I think this is the case. But when it comes to pure Saiyan specifically, they did leave out Vegito and Gogeta. And just to really summarize, it's my own theory, but I think the real reason is that the time balance. Nowadays, it wouldn't matter. So if they wanted to retroactively add those cards in, but my theory is fusion via Potara or even Metamoran, I guess, because Gogeta, of course, he's Metamoran fusion, is impure. So, but they don't say full-blooded or pure-blooded Saiyan. So that's my theory. And then Gotenks. The funny thing is Gotenks is on hybrids, but like Gotenks is a hybrid technically. Not hybrid-blooded, but he's literally a hybrid of two Saiyans. So, or two hybrid Saiyans. A hybrid of two hybrids. Anyway, that's my headcanon. There's no real reason. Anyways, next card. Goku and Gohan Super Saiyan coming out of the time chamber. Yes! Make it happen. I don't have much to say about this one. You can either go with the longer hair Gohan or post-haircut Gohan into the Cell Saga. Or not Cell games, excuse me. Either one works just fine. But I mainly want to see them in the Saiyan armor because I think Saiyan armor outfits are one of the things that don't really get, when it comes to characters other than Vegeta, there's something that don't really get explored often in these games. Like Gohan in that armor, not very common. Goku in that armor, not very common. Trunks as well, it's obviously more common because of the time spent with Vegeta and then the Cell Saga portion where he actually does wear the armor for a good chunk. But it's just not very common on characters not named Vegeta. So if I have the chance, I will say make it happen every time. So that's kind of why, I wanted that as an option. So jumping all the way back up to the Future Trunks Saga, a trio LR of these three to protect the future, I would love this, actually. I think this would fit very, very well. into a multitude of teams. And I think that the opportunity for some of these cards, just due to the way that they are built, like around the characters, like I think, you know, for example, the Krillin Gohan one could be a free card. I don't know. But I think this card right here could be like, it looks like it could be a phenomenal card anyway. So that's one of the things I would like to see make it happen. And then for the last couple, we have Krillin in 18, and we have the trio. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to go over Krillin in 18 really quick because best duo, make it happen. So we have Mass Saiyan. He's not Bardock, by the way. Yes, I made that joke. So we have Bardock, we have Toa, and we have Mira. Now, I believe this shot is from Xenoverse too. Regardless, if you don't keep up with that story, I'm not going to bore you with it. But what I will say is they work together on a multitude of scenarios. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for a card centered around these three. And when it comes to Toa and Mira and just Xenoverse content in general, these types of characters don't get represented too much, right? In the game anyway. Like Mass Saiyan has a Dokkan event, which by the way, on the Dokkan event, you fight all three of these guys because it makes sense. They're a package deal, right? But on a side note, you know, Mass Saiyan is still in the pool. The old Toa card and the old Mira card are no longer on summon banners, if I recall correctly. They're not applicable. Demigrai is, but these two aren't. So like these cards, I just think they need to breathe new life into these characters because, you know, way back in 2015, they had the Dragon Ball Xenoverse crossover, or Xenoverse, whatever, crossover banner, right? They don't do that type of stuff that often anymore. They had that, they had Fusion, they had Heroes, whatever. That's just a market that they haven't really tapped too much into as far as Xenoverse is concerned. So I would say I would like to see this trio. Now, I don't really know how they would build this one out. I'd have to really think about what they would do. You can kind of look at the pre-existing cards for examples on links. But again, the only issue with that is like, well, you're not going to give them Android-based links, even though they have an Android there, right? You're not going to give them Saiyan-based links, even though there's a Saiyan there. Demon Duo, I don't know if you give them stuff like that. But regardless, well, they could get prepared for battle. If PyCon can get it, this trio LR can get it. So, anyways, that's it. Thank you all for tuning in. Just a fun discussion video. Not really any context to the game, but it's just stuff I'd like to see. I want to do more stuff like this, so let me know if you have any interesting topics. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next one.